It's 04 a.m., October 22, 2025. Over the dark waters of the South China Sea, the destroyer USS John Finn suddenly detects multiple radar locks coming fast from the direction of Scarborough Shoal. Red lights flash across the Combat Information Center. Multiple tracks bearing 085. Alarms scream. Sailors strap in. On the horizon, three gray silhouettes, Chinese Type 05 2D destroyers, Xiamen, Lanzhou, Hefei move in tight formation, closing the gap. Two Coast Guard cutters angle across the bow, daring a collision. Then another warning, high-altitude UAV circling above, and a lower, broader return that looks like a WZ-7. The John Finn's crew knows this pattern. It's not an accident. The Chinese are testing how far the US will go to defend freedom of navigation. The captain holds speed and course. No one blinks, he says. The AN divided by SLQ-32 warms up. Jammers hum. A 8 amperes calls in from overhead, feeding contacts to the screen. In the next few minutes, one wrong move could turn this silent standoff into a full-scale naval crisis. The Scarborough Shoal sits in the middle of one of the world's busiest trade routes, waters that keep factories running, lights on, and food moving across Asia. Every day, more than half the world's merchant traffic crosses the South China Sea. For Washington, keeping that sea open isn't just strategy, it's survival for global trade. For Beijing, Scarborough is something else. A symbol of control, a test of how much pressure they can apply before someone pushes back. Their warships call it routine patrol. But when a US destroyer sails near, the tone changes. Radars lock, drones rise, and tempers flare thousands of miles away. Tonight, the USS John Finn is executing a freedom of navigation operation, a legal passage under international law. But legality doesn't stop danger. The Chinese formation begins to shadow at 2,000 yards, then 1,000. Voices over open radio warn, leave immediately or bear the consequences. Insurance markets twitch when messages like that go public. Inside the John Finn, tension is thick. Young sailors who've never seen combat now feel the weight of great power rivalry. One misread signal, one overzealous pilot, and the world could wake to headlines of the first naval clash of the decade. The radar officer whispers, "They're trying to box us in." The captain answers, "Then we'll show them what steady looks like." He orders the ship to maintain course, holding the line between deterrence and disaster. Astern, Rafael Peralta, and Barry link sensors through the CEC network. Overhead, a 8 amperes and EA-18G Growler tighten the web that keeps surprises from turning deadly. Out there, the ocean is quiet, but every eye, every sensor, every nation is watching. Who do you think showed real restraint tonight? Press 1 for the US crew, or 9 for China's commanders. 0:27 a.m. The Chinese ships close to within visual range. On the John Finn, radar operators call out fresh locks, multiple emitters painting the destroyer from different angles. It's not a drill anymore. The captain gives a short order. Electronic countermeasures, stand by. The AN divided by SLQ-32 comes alive, sending bursts of electronic noise across the spectrum. High above, a WZ-7 reconnaissance drone circles like a hawk, streaming targeting data to the Chinese destroyers Xiamen, Lanzhou, and Hefei. But suddenly, its feed begins to flicker. The US jammers are working. On the horizon, a 8 amperes Poseidon patrol aircraft descends through the clouds, relaying sensor data to the American formation. Within seconds, the USS Rafael Peralta and USS Barry link into a shared tactical picture using the Cooperative Engagement Capability Network. Every ship now sees what the others see. Targets, ranges, radar pulses, all in one live map. The Chinese commander raises the stakes. His ships illuminate targeting radars, the final step before a missile lock. Over the radio, the warning tone shifts. "You are entering a restricted zone. Turn away immediately." The voice is calm, rehearsed, but the message is clear. The John Finn holds position. Her guns are trained but silent. In the combat center, sailors exchange quick glances, half fear, half focus. Then, without warning, the Chinese radar's signature spikes. They've gone to fire control mode, someone shouts. Every system on the US ship snaps to high alert. Above the EA-18G Growler streaks in from 50 miles out, its pods glowing with electromagnetic fury. Within seconds, the Growler's jamming floods the area, blinding enemy radar. The targeting signals from the Chinese ships collapse one by one. For 38 tense seconds, it's chaos in the ether. Every electronic wave fights for dominance. Then silence. The radar locks vanish. The Chinese ships drift back into formation. Their screens dark, weapons unarmed. The John Finn adjusts course slightly and continues her mission, passing less than 5 nautical miles from Scarborough Shoal. The bridge is quiet, but everyone knows what just happened, a near miss between two superpowers. Out here, restraint isn't weakness, it's survival. 0:45 a.m. The airwaves are silent, but tension hangs like static. The John Finn and her escorts continue their passage, sensors locked on every movement around Scarborough Shoal. From the east, 2 Chinese Coast Guard cutters shadow them, spotlights cutting through the night. From the west, the destroyer Hefe adjusts course closing distance again. Inside the John Finn's combat center, the crew watches the radar lines crawl closer. "They're reforming the wall," someone mutters. The captain studies the screen. "They want us boxed in again." He keeps his tone even, but his hand stays near the comm switch. Above the waves, a WZ-7 drone reappears, scanning for signs of weakness. The EA-18G Growler banks wide to block it, launching a new round of electronic pulses that blur the drone's sensors. For a moment, the two machines duel invisibly in the electromagnetic spectrum. Then, the unexpected one of the Coast Guard ships cuts across the American bow at just 800 yards, forcing a turn. "All engines back, 1/3! The John Finn heels slightly, waves breaking hard along the hull. The bridge crew braces as tension fills the air. It's a message, not an accident. From the Chinese side, more radio chatter. "US warship, you are violating Chinese sovereignty." The reply from John Finn is calm, operating in accordance with international law. Both sides repeat the same lines, but every syllable sounds sharper than before. In the command room, one sailor whispers, "Sir, what if they try again?" The captain doesn't blink. "Then we hold the line. They blink first." At that moment, another set of radar returns, flares up multiple small contacts, moving fast at low altitude. The first officer narrows his eyes. Could be drones or decoys. Either way, they're coming straight toward the formation. The captain raises his hand. Track and jam. No one fires unless fired upon. Outside, the night sky glows faintly with electronic warfare, silent lightning no camera can see. For every move the Chinese make, the US ships match it, signal for signal, pulse for pulse. Out here, it's not about firepower, it's about who breaks first. If you were in that captain's chair, would you stand your ground or yield to pressure? Press 1 for standing firm or 9 for backing off. 1:02 a.m. The radar returns shift again this time. From sea level, a new wave of contacts appears, smaller and faster than before. They skim just above the water, reflecting almost nothing. "These aren't drones," the electronic warfare officer says quietly. "They're sea skimmers." The John Finn's computers struggle to classify the targets. Moving over 300 knots, weaving through waves, they stay almost invisible. The Pate Ampere's Poseidon above confirms. High-speed surface drones, likely launched from a hidden vessel beyond the horizon. The captain's eyes narrow. So that's their next move. He orders defensive posture. Rafael Peralta and Barry shift formation, extending the electronic umbrella. The EA-18G Growler banks wide, jamming the swarm with bursts of static. But the drones keep coming, adapting to interference. Within minutes, the first wave splits, some for John Finn, others for Barry. The sea flickers with false echoes as decoys deploy. "CIWS online," calls the weapons officer. The phalanx guns spin up, radar dishes whirring. The captain holds fire, none have crossed the engagement line yet. The bridge is silent but electric, every heartbeat syncing with the radar pulse. Suddenly, the Chinese destroyer Lanzhou turns hard to port, accelerating. It's using the chaos to flank the US ships. "They're probing our line," shouts the XO. The captain clenches his jaw. "Steady. If we fire first, we lose the message." The crew watches as the sea drones race closer, white wakes glowing in the moonlight. One wrong signal could ignite the night. No one breathes. The world hangs on a single radar blip. 1:14 a.m. The radar screens flare white. The swarm is now within engagement range, less than 3 miles. Contacts closing rapidly. The captain gives one last warning to all ships. Hold steady. Do not provoke. The John Finn systems lock onto multiple fast movers. The first wave splits again, forcing the destroyers to divide their fire zones. The Rafael Peralta and Barry switch to local control, tracking individual threats. Then it begins. The first drone crosses the line. Weapons free. The Phalanx CIWS roars to life, spitting streams of 20mm fire into the night. Tracers streak across the black sky, slicing through spray and smoke. One contact vanishes, then another. The sea flashes orange where debris slams into the water. But more drones break through. The Growler dives again, blasting out jamming bursts, trying to scramble their guidance. The AN divided by SLQ-32 screams with energy feedback, fighting to stay online. Inside the combat center, sailors shout coordinates, hands flying over controls. Every few seconds, another explosion rocks the horizon. "Drones closing to 1 mile!" shouts the radar chief. The John Finn turns 3 degrees to starboard, just enough to narrow her radar cross-section. The ship's hull shakes as another burst from the CIWS tears into the incoming swarm. For nearly a full minute, the sky burns. It's a duel between machine reflexes and human nerve. Then silence. Smoke drifts over the sea. The crew stays frozen for a heartbeat, waiting for confirmation. Then cheers erupt across the deck, quiet, exhausted, disbelieving. 3 drones destroyed, 1 jammed and dead in the water. No US casualties. No shots fired from the Chinese side. The standoff holds, but just barely. Damage control teams sweep the decks. Spent links rattle underfoot. The Pate Amperes reports no follow-on tracks. Over secure chat, Allied watchers ping from Manila, Tokyo, and Canberra, "Copy." Standing by. The message lands. Tonight, seconds matter. The captain looks out over the dark waves. "Tonight we won by seconds," he murmurs. "Next time, we might not get them." Out there, somewhere beyond the horizon, Chinese radar wakes up again. In moments like this, who do you think truly held their nerve? Press 1 for the US crew or 9 for the Chinese commanders. Dawn rises over the South China Sea. The waves are calm again, but every ship still hums with tension. The John Finn sails on through the pale morning light, her decks scattered with brass casings and the smell of burnt cordite. Above, the Pate Ampere circles once before heading home, scanning for any sign of pursuit. Officially, no shots were exchanged between the US and China. Unofficially, both sides know how close they came. The Rafael Peralta and Barry resume silent patrols as if nothing happened. Yet everyone aboard knows they've survived an invisible battle, one fought in silence, in signals, and in seconds. In Washington, the message is clear. The kill web works. Coordination across ships, aircraft, and EW systems turned a near disaster into a quiet win. For Beijing, the lesson is different. Electronic warfare cuts deep, and US resolve still holds in contested waters. Allies read the same data. In Manila, officials log the passage time. In Tokyo and Canberra, planners brief their cabinets. Each report ends with the same thought. The next close call could decide who controls the lanes of Asia. Analysts will argue for weeks over who won, but neither side truly did. The real victory was restraint, proof that discipline still outweighs firepower. Out here, one misstep can start a war no one wants to finish. As the John Finn moves south, her wake draws a white line across the blue, a reminder that the US Navy still sails where it chooses. The Chinese ships drift back toward the shoal. Radar's cold again, intentions unreadable. For now, the sea is calm, but beneath that calm lies a question. How long can this balance last? The next encounter could come within hours. Out here, control isn't measured in miles, it's measured in nerve. Who do you think truly holds control of the South China Sea? Press 1 for the US or 9 for China, and stay tuned for what comes next. It's 1437, the 15th of October 2025. South China Sea, 50 nautical miles off the Philippines. A U.S. Navy MH-60R Romeo helicopter cuts through haze, sensors alive, sonar dipping into blue, then an alert tone. Unknown radar spikes on the screen. The crew locks eyes. Outside, a dark silhouette darts low. A Chinese Z-10 attack helicopter, closing fast. Flares burst across the sky, warning shots without words. The American pilot steadies his grip orders crisp over radio. Beneath them, the ocean hums with another threat, a Yuan-class submarine surfacing to recharge, unaware it's being hunted. The Seahawk holds steady, blades slicing humid air. Inside, radar beeps and comms hiss, the thump of rotors pounding like a heartbeat on edge. Down below, sonar echoes bounce off steel hulls, tiny pings of tension in the deep. Above, the Z-10 circles again, cannon glinting in the afternoon light. No one fires yet, but every second stretches thin the air between two nations trembling, one move away from turning this cold sea hot. The South China Sea isn't just blue water on a map. It's a living artery for global trade tankers, cargo ships, and fishing fleets, threading through lanes that keep shelves stocked from Tokyo to Los Angeles. For the U.S. Navy, every patrol here is a promise. Keep routes open, show the flag where silence might invite danger. Today, that silence is heavy. The MH-60R Romeo isn't here for show, it's hunting. Somewhere below, a Chinese Yuan-class submarine lurks. Diesel engines quiet, batteries charging. Its crew knows American sensors can hear whispers. One slip and they're marked. Above, the Z-10 pilot sees the Seahawk as a trespasser, maybe bait. Both sides record every tone and turn, aware the footage could one day justify the unthinkable. From a U.S. carrier group 100 miles away, calm voices ride the radio. Maintain distance. Do not engage. They know a spark here can ripple across the region. Insurance, shipping, markets at dawn. One burst of gunfire, and Asia wakes up changed. Inside the Seahawk, the crew walks the edge between caution and resolve. ESM logs, spike patterns, bearings, call signs. The Z-10's flares and radar paint write clues into American memory. That data could matter more than a dramatic shot. Proof beats pride in a long game. Keep gathering signatures, and the next encounter starts with an edge. Still, neither crew blinks. The Z-10 drifts closer, rotor wash rippling the surface. The Seahawk holds altitude steady, unyielding. What happens next isn't about firepower, but nerve. A hand signal, a sudden bank, a misread call, any of it could turn this standoff into a lesson taught in war colleges. And once a shot echoes, no one controls how far the echo travels. If you were in that cockpit, would you hold steady or fire first? Tap 1 for restraint or 9 if you'd pull the trigger. Seconds stretch into a wire. The Seahawk's sensors lock on the Yuan-class hull. Bearings update every sweep. The pilot's voice is low. We have a contact, loud and shallow. The Z-10 dives low. Firing tracer bursts across the sky, warning shots, not kills. Orange streaks flash over the water. The Seahawk holds fire, switching to full record mode, every radar pulse stored for later. Below, the submarine halts charging and sends a short ping. The Seahawk's sonar catches the churn, the metallic hum of propellers. "We've got the sound print," the operator whispers. Aboard the escort cruiser, the captain orders. Show readiness, no engagement. Missiles move to standby. The carrier group logs all comms, each word, each code, saved in silence. The Z-10 circles again, dropping flares that hiss across the waves. Its pilot taunts on radio. The Seahawk climbs higher, showing sensors instead of weapons. Calm meets provocation, and the air feels like glass about to crack. Then near miss. A flare arcs too close, igniting spray. The Seahawk banks hard left. The sub dives deeper. On the cruiser scope, 3 symbols glow. One helicopter, one sub, one potential disaster. A Chinese support ship breaks silence. "Do not escalate. The voice steadies the airwaves, but tension lingers. One mistranslated phrase, one radar lock too long, could spark chaos. Inside the Seahawk, the crew records everything: the pulse of enemy radar, the rhythm of the sub's turn, the tone of its comms. Each byte captured is leverage for tomorrow. Both pilots keep circling. Patience fighting pride. The Seahawk's commander values data. The Z-10 pilot, pressure. Each maneuver writes an invisible line across the sea neither dares to cross. Finally, the carrier's voice returns. Log complete. Withdraw 5 miles. The Seahawk obeys, sensors still running. The ocean calms. But the digital record endures proof of restraint and a quiet warning for whoever comes next. Aster, the Z-10 holds at the edge of a slow spiral, a hawk that won't dive. The sub's wake thins, then vanishes. Only scattered bubbles mark its path. The Seahawk steadies on an outbound vector. Cameras aft. No victory calls, only clip checklists, and the quiet sense that round 1 ended before anyone said it began. The Seahawk turns back toward the contact zone. Clouds darken. The sea grows rough. Static crackles across comms. Someone's jamming the channel. The pilot steadies the stick. We've lost clear signal from the carrier. The air is thicker now. Every sound a warning. Far below, the Yuan-class submarine changes depth, sliding toward the thermocline to hide. The sonar operator mutters. He's masking. The crew adjusts gain, filters noise, hunts through layers of ocean static. Each new ping sharpens tension like a blade. Suddenly, radar picks up 2 fast signatures: small, low, closing. Drones. The Z-10 isn't alone. The Seahawk sensors paint them as recon scouts, each carrying countermeasure pods. They're boxing us in, the co-pilot says. The Seahawk banks right, then climbs, forcing distance. From the cruiser, an urgent call. Romeo 1. Stay clear, multiple emissions from the north. Lightning flashes across the horizon. The American pilot sees the Z-10 turning toward him, drones sweeping behind like hounds driving a herd. He knows this isn't random, it's coordination. The Seahawk climbs higher, radar locking on one drone, forcing it to reveal control frequencies. The Z-10 fires another flare, then a short radar burst. The American crew captures everything, every pulse, every frequency. They're painting us, says the pilot. Let them, we'll take it home. The drones press closer, one skimming just above the waves, another arcing behind the Seahawk's tail. The crew flips defensive mode on flares armed, countermeasures primed, but still, no one fires. One flare, one missile, and diplomacy burns. Then, the Z-10 cuts in front close enough that the Seahawk's nose camera catches the pilot's helmet glint. The air trembles with rotor wash, salt spray, and nerve. Voices on both radios clash. Orders overlapping in 2 languages neither side wants to misunderstand. On the carrier, command reviews live feeds multiple contacts, no clearance to fire. Hold positions, the admiral says. We can't blink. The Seahawk hovers steady, waiting. Across the haze, the Z-10 mirrors every move. A stalemate of skill and steel, one heartbeat from collapse. If you were flying here, would you stay patient or strike first? Tap 1 if you'd hold the line, or 9 if you'd break it. The standoff drags into silence. Both helicopters hover at knife-edge distance, engines growling like beasts chained too tight. Then the sea breaks. A low boom rolls from below, not an explosion, but pressure. The Yuan-class sub has fired a decoy torpedo. The sonar screen lights up. We've got launch signature! The Seahawk banks hard, dropping counterflares over the water. The decoy torpedo spirals wide, harmless, but that's not the danger. The real twist isn't underwater. It's above. The Z-10 suddenly cuts radio silence and locks radar on the Seahawk's tail. For a moment, it looks like an attack. The American crew braces, fingers over triggers, but then realize the radar isn't aimed for a kill. It's scanning, recording them back. China's pilot is doing exactly what the Seahawk came to do. Gather data, prove control, win without a shot. Copy that, the US commander mutters. They're mirroring us. The crew switches frequency, sweeps their own radar one more time, and the 2 helicopters freeze, caught in mutual observation. like reflections trapped in opposing mirrors. Over the radio, static crackles. Romeo 1, maintain altitude. You are being painted by multiple sources. The Seahawk steadies. Waves below shimmer with decoy trails, a bright confusion of light and noise. The sub slips deeper, its trace vanishing into dark silence. The Z-10 holds position, collecting its own victory, proof it could push back. The Seahawks commander knows this dance won't end with anyone retreating. It ends with both sides holding evidence, both claiming the upper hand. Through the cockpit glass, two pilots glance across 100 yards of air and understand restraint is power, but so is exposure. One move now decides who walks away smarter or humiliated. The radio crackles, then silence. Both pilots wait, knowing whoever moves first decides everything. The Seahawk hovers high. The Z-10 shifts position, closer than ever. The tension becomes physical, pressing on every breath. Suddenly, the Yuan-class sub surges back up, slicing through the surface in a burst of white foam. Its hull glistens like wet steel. A tower hatch opens, then slams shut. On the Seahawks' radar, new pings bloom. Another vessel has joined, a Chinese frigate racing in from the east. The American commander curses softly. They're calling backup. The Seahawk climbs fast, pulling clear of the sub's radar cone. Alarms shriek. The Z-10 locks radar again tight, deliberate, like a fingertip on a trigger. Romeo 1, hold position. The carrier's voice cuts through static, but the ocean below erupts, waves rising from propeller wash, interference swirling across sensors. The Seahawks' ESM flares red. The Z-10 closes in, so near the Seahawks cameras can see the pilot's eyes. The American crew arm flares but hold fire. A single wrong move and both will vanish in flame. Then the twist inside the climax. The Chinese frigate fires chaff rounds skyward, a wall of silver rain between both sides. It's not an attack, it's a signal. The Z-10 peels away. The frigate cuts across the Seahawk's flight path, forcing separation. On board the Seahawk, the pilot exhales, hands trembling slightly. The radio clears. Return to base, do not pursue. The sea below returns to gray stillness, but the adrenaline lingers, heavy and sharp. Through the mist, the Z-10 hovers one last time, its lights flashing in coded rhythm acknowledgement or warning. The Seahawk tilts its nose in return, a gesture that could mean respect or defiance. No one will ever write this in an official report, but both crews know this was the closest they've come to war without crossing the line. Back on the cruiser, flight deck crews stand frozen beside fueled birds, launch carts humming without orders. In Manila's control rooms, screens glow. In Beijing and Washington, phones vibrate on silent. On both bridges, pens hover over logs, waiting for words no one wants to write. The ocean looks calm again, but every wake is a signature. And tonight, the water keeps the score. If you think one wrong second could have changed history, tap 1 for calm under pressure, or 9 if you'd have taken the shot. Dawn breaks over the South China Sea. The waves look peaceful, but the data doesn't lie. Gigabytes of sonar returns, radar logs and comms, traffic stream toward analysts across the Pacific. What looked like a near miss will now become a case study, dissected frame by frame. On the carrier, the Seahawks crew steps out into the wind, eyes red, faces pale, no cheers, no medals, just silence and paperwork. The commander signs the report, one line standing out. No shots fired. It sounds simple, but everyone knows how close that sentence came to being rewritten. Half a world away, Beijing issues a short statement, routine patrol, no confrontation. Washington responds the same. Diplomats smile on camera while intelligence teams pore over waveforms, comparing every pulse, every harmonic, every whisper of machine noise that the Seahawk brought back. The Chinese frigate returns to port at Hainan. Engineers swarm the Z-10, replaying its radar captures. Somewhere, in another briefing room, a U.S. analyst plays the same footage, each side learning, adapting, evolving for the next round. No one claims victory, yet both claim control. The sea, indifferent, rolls on. Fishermen resume their routes. Cargo ships trace their lines across calm waters that hide the echoes of that long night. Nothing changed except everything beneath the surface. In the Seahawk's black box, the final transmission loops. Contact faded, mission complete. The tone is steady, but behind it lies a truth. Every sailor knows peace is only the space between warnings. On the bridge, the commander looks east, toward faint light on the horizon. Next time, he mutters, they'll come prepared. And so will we. If you think America truly held the line that night, tap 1. If you believe China quietly scored its win, tap 9.